What if I told you you could be like 10 times happier by doing some really simple things each day, and most of them take less than 5 minutes? So, today I'm going to share with you 14 things that I've started doing in the last year that have increased my happiness so much. If you're new here, I'm Tiff, absent-minded professor of neurobiology. I was diagnosed with ADHD as an adult at 37, and I am hyper-focused on helping people learn to love and live in harmony with their own unique, chaotic brains. All right, let's dive right in. Okay, number one, when I'm walking anywhere outside, from my car to my office, anything like that, I keep my phone in my pocket. I make sure I look out at the horizon, and I make sure that I take a really deep inhale, smell the air, hear the birds chirping, and I just appreciate how beautiful the day is. And what it helps me do is really be present in the moment and feel grateful and notice the small things that are great about that day. So number two, and this is a really important one for me, every single day I try to give my kids at least one really long, meaningful hug. I do this, I close my eyes, I smell their hair, I tell them how lucky I am to be their mom and how much I love them. And, eventually their little bodies will just melt right in, and you can just feel so much love and appreciation for being a parent, which, let's be honest, is super hard and not something we might always appreciate. But in those moments, I do. And it builds connection with my kids and lets them know I love them. I'm going to pause and I'm going to take time to just do that. I figure the time I have where my kids are willing to just like hug me and kind of melt into a hug is limited, and I want to soak that up as much as possible. It gives me lots of dopamine, and I love it, and I've just started intentionally taking time to do that every single day. And again, you can see the theme of being present and experiencing the senses of hugging your kids, smelling their hair, being in the moment, and noticing what's going on. Number three, when I finish a workout, and this is going to sound woo-woo for a minute, but just bear with me. I lay down on the mat after I stretch or whatever. I'll put my hands on my heart, and I will just say, I feel so good, or I feel so proud. Because once the maybe death feeling of your workout has worn off, I guarantee you that if you wait for it, you'll actually feel sort of the energy buzz that you get from working out. And if you pause again and you notice that and you acknowledge that you did it, that is going to make you feel good and happy. And it's going to teach your brain that exercise is a thing that makes my body and my brain feel good and is something that I accomplish and do regularly. I have a lot of thoughts on how to make exercise achievable and enjoyable when you have ADHD, so if it's something you want to hear more about, let me know in the comments. Number four, when I go to have my cup of coffee in the morning before I take a drink, I just breathe deep and smell how good my cup of coffee smells. And just close my eyes, smell my coffee, then I take a drink, enjoy the taste, all of that. But just, again, pausing and experiencing that moment for a little bit longer and noticing something else that's good about it besides the caffeine, which I also love, is just something I've found gives me a moment of happiness. I also do this with a good glass of bourbon or some tasty craft beer. Works for that too. And just generally allowing yourself to experience things through multiple senses without distraction of your phone or something like that will allow you to actually notice that you experienced that good thing during the day. So you can accumulate evidence that your day was actually good and enjoyable and peaceful. So that's the theme of those first few. Number five, and this is more of a work-related one, but I assess whether I was productive that day by whether I got through the tasks that I actually needed to get through. I have a couple videos on calendar and to-do list management that I'll link in the description, but I do not assess my productivity by how long I spend on something or by how hard it felt or how much I struggled. I'm not into that. If I can get through something and it feels easy and it's done, I'm productive and actually I feel better. And it's no less done. It's no less of an accomplishment if you do it more quickly or if it feels easy. And that has made a huge difference. I stopped beating myself up over how many hours I worked or what hours I was keeping or if I was working weekends. I just got rid of all of that. And it's like, did I get my stuff done? Are things going well? Great. So number 6 is that I treat my well-being, my personal well-being, as part of my job. Okay? I think of, well-being kind of like you're a house, and all of the people that you are responsible for, both at work and at home, all of the things, all of the tasks, all of that lives in that house. Houses need maintenance, right? So you have to take care of your roof. You need to take care of your windows, your siding, your plumbing, all of those things, right? And you can ignore things for a while and let them deteriorate. You can ignore your mental health. You can never have fun. You can work too much and start to burn out. And the house will hold together for a while. The longer you ignore your needs, right, the more urgent it becomes. And eventually that roof is going to spring a leak, or your house is going to start on fire, or your siding is going to fall off. And that actually puts all of the things in the house in danger, right? So by taking care of yourself, you are actually taking care of everyone around you. And this sounds cliche, and I realize it sounds easy to say, but it's true. I'm a better mom. I'm a better professor. I'm a better wife. I'm a better friend when I am taking care of myself. So it can feel really selfish to take, 30 or 45 minutes away from playing with your kids or doing something with your spouse to, say, exercise. But then when I do spend time with them, I am more relaxed. I am more pleasant. I am more present in the moment. Over the long term, I know that I'm going to be around for them longer and in a healthier state. And so I have now just shifted my entire framework and made that part of the things I need to prioritize, like I would for things with a hard deadline like work. So I schedule those things in and I make them a priority. Number 7, I wear sunscreen every day. So I used to have absolutely no skincare routine. This is another thing that came along with getting diagnosed and medicated, was I started taking better care of myself. And my sort of non-negotiable each day is putting on sunscreen. And knowing that that's like 80 or 90% of the benefits of skincare helps me feel like I've accomplished something, even if I might not take the time to like wash my face at the end of the day. That makes me feel like I'm taking care of myself in a way that I didn't used to. Number 8, I hang out with my husband. So not just on like date night or something like that, but we try to play board games, hang out and talk, try new bourbons, whatever that might be. But we try to like hang out together and do more than just zone out in front of a movie. We do that too, but we try not to just do that and actually talk to each other. So he's a person that I really enjoy spending time with, and I think that that helps us get through a lot of the things that are challenging about life with young kids or, career trajectories in science, all of those things. So those types of times with him are really important to me, and I'm really glad that we make the time to do that often. Number 9, I try to assume people have good intentions and are trying to do their best. This just saves me from flying off the handle too much when people are ridiculous. I try to just assume people are trying to do their best, and when they're not, that's actually a signal that maybe they need more support rather than being annoyed. And when people cut me off or say something really offensive, I try to just assume that they had good intentions. They might not always, but by assuming that, I don't have to worry about their issues most of the time. Number 10, I have meeting-free Mondays. I talk extensively about this in my calendar video, which I'll link below, but on Mondays, I have now made it so my schedule never contains a meeting, and it's changed my life. I don't get the Sunday scaries. I have so much time on Mondays that I know I can dedicate towards anything that's come up for that week, long-term important projects, deep work, not deep work. I have the choice, and I know that that is blocked off every single Monday. Starts my week off amazing. Highly recommend if it's something you're able to work in, or some version of that works best for you. Number 11, I now clear my email inbox with a short block of time right at the beginning and right at the end of my day. So my inbox gets to 0 every single day. That means I don't worry about things in my inbox that I know I'm ignoring like I used to with my inbox of like 400 unread emails. Now I know at the end of every day, that's checked off, and I know that it can wait overnight until morning when I check them again and check them off. It's made email much less central to like my life when I'm at home or when I'm doing work in the middle of the day, and makes me feel like I get a lot of stuff done right when I start and right when I end my day. It's just been amazing. Again, those are in my calendar video linked below. Number 12, I've started saying no to things that don't actually serve my long-term goals as much as I can. And I've started scheduling more according to my needs. So when I do schedule something, I don't just put it in my first open slot on my calendar. I'll actually put it in a place on my calendar that works for my schedule. This makes me less resentful of the things that I do that involve other people. It makes me feel less overwhelmed by the things I have to do because I'm scheduling it in a way that actually works for me, or I'm not scheduling it at all. And that keeps my to-do list much shorter, my calendar more free to actually get the important things done or spend less time on work. And overall, that has been a great shift that I'm still honestly working on, but I will keep working on because it has been a big happiness boost for me. So number 13 is that instead of scrolling on my phone, I've started to try to pick up and write in my journal some of the time instead. I realized I was using scrolling as what I thought was a time to sort of relax, but what I was actually using it to do was sort of escape. So when I'm scrolling on my phone, I'm not processing anything that happened during the day. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm also not doing anything useful. I'm just sort of mindlessly looking at whatever the algorithm thinks that I should be looking at on whatever app. So I started journaling at the middle of last year. And what really helped me do that was that I sort of threw out any rules about like when I should journal or how I should journal. So I don't journal every day at 5 a.m. I don't just gratitude journal. I literally just write whatever random stuff is in my brain and put it on the page. Okay. And so this has really helped me just process stuff. And when you have ADHD and your brain is just like a constant flurry of a whole bunch of thoughts and you can't sort this one from that one and you can't keep track of any threads that kind of go together very easily, when you journal, get it out of your brain. And externalizing, putting something outside of your head, always helps you process, whether you're doing it verbally or doing it through writing. I find writing in cursive to be really helpful when I'm trying to think and process. I don't know why. Once I threw out all the rules and I didn't have a time of day I had to do it, I just started journaling when I felt like journaling. And that actually made me journal more and more and more, and has really helped me sort of process, get rid of a lot of things that were sort of taking up space in my brain so that I could use that space for anything else that I wanted instead of worrying. So one thing that's helped me do this with journaling is I keep my journal in my bag with me so I can just pull it out whenever. I have a sort of personal one that I just write thoughts in, and then I have one for business where I have more like ideas and plans and things like that. But I just carry them with me, and when I feel like it, I pull them out and I write, and I have like literally no path. The other day I was writing in my journal and then I was like, my dry shampoo smells like women's shaving cream and that's unpleasant. And trust me, that was way out of left field, but I just let it out because it came into my brain. Someday if I ever read it again, it'll just make me laugh. And the last one, and this one may or may not resonate with you, but it resonates a lot for me, is instead of scrolling, I've tried to learn instead of scroll mindlessly. So instead of just watching whatever videos kind of pop up, I've started to have something that I want to learn more about and focus on that. So at least if I'm on my phone or I'm listening to podcasts or something, they're about something that I want to learn more about. So for the past like 5 months, it's been learning how to start a YouTube channel, and that's been a really fun journey. And I personally find that when I'm working toward something, some sort of project or goal, that's when I feel happiest. And so I'm trying to just use that time that I spend on my phone, which is more than I thought once I started tracking my screen time, and use some of that scrolling time to actually learn about whatever it is. And this could take any form you want it, but I think for some people with ADHD, having something to focus on and pursue can be really fulfilling. And so if that's you, that's a good way to spend your scrolling time, where you would have just been mindlessly looking at stuff that's not actually getting you any closer to the goal and not helping you process your emotions, and really just all around not doing a whole lot for us. Okay, so hopefully you found something in there useful for yourself. Most of these things take almost no time. They aren't unpleasant, and they really will make you be more present and over time really start to boost your happiness. But in a general way, some of the take-homes are find ways to be present in the moment. So put your phone down and let your senses experience where you are, especially when you're in the outdoors or around people that you love. The other take home is quality over quantity. So it's not how much time you spend with people around you, it's how present you are in those moments. And something that will help you be more present, I guarantee it, is taking care of your own needs also. So make those a priority. That's all for today. There's a link below to sign up for my email list if you're interested in hearing more from me, and I will see you next time.